Welcome to all those interested in IRON online education programs. We're going to talk briefly about each of the programs that we offer tonight, and then, of course, open ourselves up for questions to answer those pieces that are most on your mind about things that need to be answered. Of course, you can enter any questions that you like in the chat or wait until the end of our meeting, which should only take us 20 to 25 minutes to go through these initial ideas of the opportunities that are available in our programs. So with that being said, we're going to talk first about briefly an overview of things that are the same in all of our programs. And so my name, by the way, is Corey Henwood. I'm the Director of Online Programs. We also have with us Tim Marriott, who's a counselor for all of our online programs. And we do have a vast array of those programs, but each of those programs kind of have similar expectations and things you can expect from those programs. And they first off start with personalized pacing, meaning students can move as quickly as they're able through the curriculum, including earning credit for our high school and college credit options as quickly as they're able to do so. Of course, it also means that as far as personalization, that they're able to access it anytime, anywhere through a device that we issue to the student. In addition to that, we are planning to offer more gatherings and activities if restrictions are lessened or removed around COVID this next year. And we just wanted you to be aware of that because we know human connection to both our instructors, our outreach team, and our mentors is really important. And so that's another piece that we wanted you to be aware of. And lastly, that we do offer special education services remotely to all of our students who attend online programs. If you have further questions about the needs of your student, I'd encourage you to reach out to us directly, either myself or Tim Marriott, our counselor. We do encourage all of our students to enroll for at least one semester so that they're able to have the most opportunity possible to gain credit and to immerse themselves in this education opportunity. And then, of course, we can return students if needed at the quarter to each of their boundary schools, if that's what you desire. So that's a little bit of what to expect overall. I'm going to introduce, as I mentioned, each of our 4 offerings that we have in terms of our online programs, and just cover a quick couple of pieces to that so you understand each of them and an overview at a high level. So first is our IRON K6 online program. And this is a program that plans to have familiar curriculum, primarily curriculum used within the boundary schools of our K6 schools. It'll also include regular synchronous instruction from our local teachers so that students can have that interaction on a regular basis with our teachers. And they'll have regular interaction with our outreach team and coaches. So I'll give you a few more details to that. The curriculum, as I was mentioning, is primarily those that are used at the boundary schools. So that would include things like Canvas, things like Lexia, iReady, Mystery Science, and other programs that you'd find in a regular traditional boundary elementary school. The teacher's role will be to offer that synchronous instruction online at a regular basis, as well as they'll grade and provide feedback for students' work, and that'll all be done by a local ICSD certified teacher. Our outreach team, and part of their role in this, will be that they'll help set up students and to meet schedule and goals, allow them to connect often whenever they require more motivation or need more connection. They will also be available to tutor students. We have a separate set next year of outreach tutors that will provide tutoring in both math and literacy for our students enrolled in IRON K6 online. So you'll see this program and the contrast to some of the other programs we offer for our K through 6 students. This one provides the most amount of regular interaction with our teachers and our outreach team. If you'd like to register for this program, you can see the link below, and that will be shown up at the end of our slide when we're answering questions as well. But this is the same link that you would enroll at any other boundary school. So when you go to your boundary school's website and click enroll, this is the same link it'll take you to. And now, as of today, there is an option available for you to enroll in IRON K6 online. So before we get into some of our secondary options, I'm going to let us hear a little bit from Mr. Tim Marriott who will describe some of the high school requirements and how it looks for our secondary students. So go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, it's good to be with you guys this evening. So a little bit different for next year. Spark, as it's been known, Spark 7 through 12 is our online curriculum for secondary 7 through 12. And next year, for the 21-22 school year, Spark will be housed under Southwest Education Academy. So currently, students who are enrolled in Spark are registered at their boundary school, but that will be a little bit different, mainly because it will be better for the student as far as tracking and resources. And we're excited to house that program under Southwest Education Academy. So just a little bit about what that means. So Southwest Education Academy requires a 24 credit diploma. Now that diploma is the same accredited diploma that the student would receive at Cedar High School, Canyon View, or Parowan. The only difference between the diploma at Southwest Education Academy is the graduation requirements when it comes down to electives. So you may know that if your student's going to Canyon View right now, they require 32 credits for a diploma. And the only difference between our diploma is they require 13.5 credits in electives, and SEA requires 5.5. So all the core math, science, English, social studies, all that is the same, except for electives. We require less electives. I'm sure Corey will mention this, just a couple other things with that. You may be in a situation where next year you want your student to be on Spark, which would transfer that student over to SEA. However, you may have the intentions that that student may want to return back to their boundary school to graduate at that school. And so we would just want to work together to make sure we help students stay on track for the diploma they're working towards, whether that's a Canyon View, Cedar High School, or Parowan. And we would be happy to accommodate those different requests as we meet with you. The other thing that will continue is students will be able to take classes at their boundary school. So like Corey mentioned earlier, students can work at their own pace. They can accelerate in this program, and they still have the option to take classes at their boundary school. So if they were interested in doing some concurrent enrollment college classes, we've had several students this year that are taking band and choir classes. That will still be an option for next year while doing most of your core classes online. Yeah, anything else, Corey, that you would add to that?
Well, just on the same note, when you register online for our Spark 712 or our Iron K6 online program, you'll notice that the school that it will pull up in the registration is Southwest Education Academy. So don't be surprised by that. And of course, we're willing to work with those who want to return to graduate at their traditional boundary school, as Tim alluded to. So that's about all. We'll move forward and describe a little bit more about what Spark is and how it works. So our Spark program is a 7th through 12th grade. It allows for accredited curriculum, meaning students can get credit that would transfer to any other school from our work in Spark. And they will have regular interaction with our outreach coaches, our tutors, and local teachers. And I'll describe what that looks like here. So the curriculum, again, is a personalized pacing, as was alluded to, that they can receive credits as quickly as they're able to demonstrate that they understand the material and even test out of certain material. It is accredited curriculum that works towards the meeting of a high school diploma or the middle school requirements that are set by the state of Utah. The teacher's role in Spark will be that they will grade and provide feedback and answer emails on questions that are regarding their topic, but you wouldn't see the same kind of regular synchronous instruction like you would see in our Iron K6 program. And then our outreach team is actually primarily responsible for a lot of the same things, setting up goals and meeting schedules and checking in regularly with our students, as well as providing tutoring in those core subjects of math and English language arts and the like. So that piece, again, you would register the same place as you'd register for Boundary School. You go to that same link, and the Iron K6 and Spark 712 options are now available at that website below, which I'll share again at the end of this presentation. These are some of the classes that we offer, just so you're aware. At the middle school level, the classes you would generally see offered that are the requirements in the state of Utah through middle school in math, language, science, and social studies, as well as PE and some other required classes that many students take at some point in their middle school career. And then likewise in high school, we have all of the courses that you would need to graduate from high school available through Spark, including your core classes, math, language arts, social studies, and science, and your elective classes that are required along the right-hand side. So just wanted you to be aware of what those course offerings are. And if you have further questions about that, you could email our counselor, Tim Marriott, about that. So next we'll talk about an early college option that allows students to actually, in the 9th through 12th grade, earn college credit up to their entire associate's degree, while at the same time meeting the requirements for their high school diploma. So ultimately what this looks like is that students can receive their associate's degree by completing the equivalent of 20 high school credits, or 20 classes, if you will. They would complete those at a college level. And then in addition to that, they'd be able to complete 3 or 4 more other high school classes that are required for their diploma. So roughly the same number of classes overall that they would be required for their high school diploma. But since they'd be doing some of those college classes in place of their high school classes, they'd be able to receive both their associate's degree and their high school diploma. A really interesting option for a student who is at that level already. This requires some testing into this program or having completed their 9th and 10th courses in English and math or others to actually complete the requirements for their associate's degree. But there are a lot of different ways to go about getting into this program if you're interested in it. And we'll just talk briefly about some of the other components of same 3 around curriculum. Personalized pacing, meaning you can earn college credit as quickly as you are able to demonstrate competence, even allowing you to test out of certain elements of your college credit. This is a really unique program that Snow offers, and one that we're excited to offer to our students. They may be able to meet all the requirements of a Gen Ed certificate, which we'll show you here, or the associate's degree while earning their high school diploma. The teaching and grading is done from the university, and their teachers or graders will often provide feedback on the work that's been done by your student, and they're available to answer questions. And they also have a team of mentors from Snow Online to help students to stay on track and to set a schedule for them to complete what they need to do. If you're interested in this, we've set up a Google form that will indicate your interest in this, and then we will meet with you to discuss more at length if this program is what you truly think would be a best fit for your student before passing them on to our partners at Snow Online for your application to that program. So that registration or indication of interest would be done at tinyurl.com/ICSD Snow. Okay, so that's a really interesting program. I'll kind of reiterate that it's a wonderful opportunity if your student is ready to earn associate's degree or other college credit at no cost to them, while really not doing a bunch of additional coursework like you would have to do at a traditional Boundary high school, but simply completing them in place of some of your high school work to earn both your diploma and your associate's degree. Here are the courses that are set up. So these ones on the left are what's required for a Gen Ed certificate in this program, and the ones on the right are those that are required if you were to complete all of these total of 60 credits, you'd be able to earn your Associates of Science from Snow College. And Snow College is actually rated as one of the most transferable colleges in the United States, meaning that students could take this credit and transfer it to nearly any institution with little to no difficulty. So that's an exciting option as well. Lastly, we have MyTech High, which is a K through 12 curriculum. It offers only a few accredited options, and there is little to no interaction from local teachers or mentor staff It's an option for those who would like a little less interaction and a little more choice around the curriculum. So most of the curriculum is offered, it's offered through online programs that are purchased for you. Many of those, like let's say a Khan Academy or others, and subscriptions to programs like that do not necessarily lead towards transferable credit for a high school diploma. So that's just something you need to be aware of. The teacher's role is that we provide a little to no role outside of special services for those who have special needs. And then lastly, our outreach team has rare interactions only when the student is not engaging at all. So this one again requires a little less interaction from our team here and from our local teachers. If you're interested in that, you would register at mytechhigh.com, their website, /apply, and they will set you up for next school year in that program. So with that being said, here's our process, regardless of what program you're going to enroll in, that we would have you register starting now. That registration is available. That those who are working within the programs of Iron K6 Online, Spark 712, or Snow Online would meet with our team here in the spring. And then we would get you started, of course, for August 17th, which is our first day of school next year. So with that being said, now will be the time that we'll take questions from any of you who have questions about the programs. We can dive into more details as you have questions. And I'm just going to leave up during this time the links to register to any of our programs. So I'm going to leave those right there for you all so that you can have those depending on the program you're interested in. So you're welcome to unmute and ask a question or type the question in the chat if you would prefer.
Hey, Cordy, we do have one question, and I guess I'm not, well, let me just pose it out there to you. And as I understand it right now, middle school students have not had the option to work towards college credit while still in middle school. But it does ask that question, can middle school students potentially begin taking college or high school level classes? As I understand it now, the district has not authorized that option. Is that your understanding as well?
Right now, that's currently the case, but I would see that next year we'll be taking a different look at that. Part of our personalized competency-based plan for the district is allow for students to move at their own pace through our curriculum. So once they've completed the middle school requirements, I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to allow students to take on their high school credit. Part of the issue there, or part of the things you'll need to consider, is that doesn't necessarily qualify them to participate in high school activities or other pieces, but to start early on high school credit is something that we can work through. So for Andrew, for that question, you could certainly talk to us more, but of course that would mean that they would first have to complete their middle school requirements before doing that. And
the next question being the Snow College classes being taught, are they taught through Zoom classes?
And they are not. They're not through Zoom. If you're familiar with Spark, it's actually in the same platform that Spark 712 is offered in. So meaning that the curriculum and the instruction is already set up online for students to engage with. If they have questions, they can ask their questions of their teachers or their mentors through that program. But there's not necessarily a synchronous instruction done through Zoom for our Snow Online.
So let me answer the next question. It talks about what a student needs to do to be accepted into Snow Online. So this would be a discussion we'd want to have with the parents and the student to make sure this would be a good fit. As far as enrollment and being accepted, there's a couple different ways that a student could be accepted. And mainly this is looking at the math and the English classes. So as far as the math goes, a student could take a test which would allow him to test into a math 1040, 1050 class at Snow Online. However, if a student is not in a position where he's ready for that course, there's a couple different options we'd have where we'd enroll them in Math 1, Math 2, Math 3 in our Spark online platform to help them prepare for that class. That student could potentially take those math classes at their boundary school in a way to prepare. Or Snow Online has some curriculum that can help them prepare for the test. So when they take that test, they'll be better prepared to test into those math classes. And that's kind of the same thing with the English. We offer classes that can help prepare them, just the regular core classes, English 9, 10, 11. Or if they score certain scores on the ACT, that's also an option where they can test into certain English classes, such as English 1010, English 2010. So there's not necessarily a test to get into the program. The tests are more related to the math and English college courses. A student that may not be ready for math and English classes at a college level could prepare for those classes while taking college classes in art, social studies, other classes that they could work on towards their associate's degree while they're preparing to get into the advanced math and English classes.
Thank you for that, Tim. I saw a question about UHSAA sports. Students who attend Southwest Education Academy and any of our online programs are able to participate in their boundary schools, activities association sanctioned events or other clubs, or anything really that pertains to their students at their boundary schools. And so that's also true for up to 2 classes that they can take at those boundary schools. And that leads us a little bit into the next question that I'm maybe hoping, Tim, you can help identify the process for how the person would go about doing that. We've got someone looking at, MyTech High or any of our programs for that matter, looking to take, some split enrollment with their boundary school. So how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so as part of the MyTech enrollment, when you're going through that, you'll identify the classes you want to do through MyTech. There's also an option on there to put a split enrollment and identify the classes that you would like to take at your boundary school. So you'll identify those classes through MyTech. MyTech will then pass that information on to us. And since that student would be a Southwest Education Academy student, I, as the counselor, would enroll that student in Cedar Middle School classes, the 2 classes they would want to take. So the bulk of that would be handled through the MyTech application process, and then we would ensure those classes happen and are enrolled in Empower School. So the next question, does Snow offer summer courses for high school students?
Yeah, Snow does offer summer semester. Currently, right now, the district is paying for students who attend Snow Online through our regular school year. If you're interested in continuing that through the summer as well, that's likely something that we would have to cost share with the parent. So for that unique situation, we could talk to you about. At worst, it would mean that you would pay the cost of that, which is currently it's just under $1,300 per semester that we pay towards Snow Online for that program. So that's something that we could consider, but in most cases, we're just offering that program throughout the fall and spring semesters for our students.
And I think you probably hit on that, but just just with the Snow Online, students are expected to earn 2 classes, so 6 credits per semester, with the option to earn as much as they want during that semester. So it's a pretty neat deal. We have some other districts in the state that have mentioned that they've had students earn up to 21 credits. Now that's not typical, but that just shows you the potential students can have to earn credit during one semester, and talk about a cost saving. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah. Well, are there any other questions? Again, you're welcome to throw them in the chat or just unmute if you'd like to ask a question of our team here. Be happy to help you.
Corey, I'll put our emails in the chat just in case people have additional questions later on. They want to reach out to us. We're happy to meet with you and help you explore these programs further. So feel free to email us anytime.
And for those watching the recording later, you can contact me at corey.henwood@ironmail.org. So that's CORY.HENWOOD@ironmail.org. Would a student doing a dual enroll with MyTech High be in the Boundary School or the Spark program? So a student who's dual enrolling MyTech High and their Boundary School, well, actually their school of record will be Southwest Education Academy. And so that will be their school of record, regardless of which Boundary School they attend for a couple of extra classes.
And if I could just put a little plug in for our Spark program as it compares to MyTech. MyTech's a great program. We're happy we're partnering with them. MyTech does somewhat restrict how many classes that a student can take during the quarter. Generally, if they're doing BYU, Ingenuity, they can take up to 6 or 7 classes. With our Spark online program through the district, a student can move at their own pace. So, if they finish their 7 classes and want to continue to add more online classes, that will definitely be an option that we'll provide to those students.
Yeah, to the question about students who will be in Spark or any of our programs next year, can they participate in sports at their Boundary School? And the answer is yes. They can participate in sports or activities or clubs at their Boundary School. And the reason that Utah High School Activities Association allows that is when a school does not, the school of record of a student does not participate in those activities, then it defaults to their Boundary School that does participate in those activities. So since SEA does not have any athletics or clubs or sports, that's the reason. That's why it works out that way. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it at that. If you have another question before we leave, go ahead and chime in here in the next minute, but we're gonna wrap up here. And again, this recording is available. If you have a friend that would like it or whatnot, they can email me and I can share it with them directly, so they know. You're welcome to register as soon as you're able and willing. Those registration links that you see here on this slide are available for you to go directly to register or indicate interest in our ICSD Snow online program, or register directly for Iron K6 and Spark 712 programs, or to MyTech High. Thanks for joining us tonight. Feel free to stick around for another minute if you have a further question.